I go with that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast that's going to ruin every topic that you guys have known and dreamed of.
Oh yes.
It is Topic Crunch, episode 0. I'm Dakota,
And a half.
along with a bunch of other people here who are now.
Oh,
Mhm.
right. Dusty here.
Mr. Q. You just say your own name.
Q.
I'm Caleb.
Caleb, it's your turn.
He said it!
I just did.
Oh. Chris. I'm Chris.
We are definitely keeping this.
I'm Jonathan.
And I am Zach.
And this is Topic Crunch, episode 0. As you can see, we've organized this fantastically well, and
We have no planning.
See, now that's how you do it. You say
the
your
planning
name.
is
Like you say
there.
my name.
The execution is off. Dusty, what do we have to talk about right now?
First topic that we're actually going to run with today, upcoming video games. What video games we're looking forward to, and which ones we aren't specifically looking forward to, which might be a bigger discussion than the first one, and video games that we actually really want sequels to. So let's start with the first one. Which video games are we really looking forward to within like the next, I'd say the next 2 months?
Oh man.
Oh, man.
I mean,
Oh, Crash
the
Team
biggest
Racing.
Crash Team Racing is out there.
Definitely,
that's
definitely that.
I
Mario
mean,
Kart.
as long as the
Yeah.
execution's done
Double
correctly.
Dash.
I mean, Crash Team Racing could be a good game.
It could,
I mean,
I
I wouldn't.
could see that.
isn't it on the Switch? Or
I mean, it's gonna be on everything,
Okay.
isn't it?
Ooh, you
As
mean
far
the
as I
only
know.
downfall I
PlayStation
see
4,
from it
Switch, and Xbox One.
is that like it could easily cause like just the look of it is I saw a
I'm okay with the look. I mean,
preview of
Used
it
to
and I wasn't like I was like yeah I don't know yet.
I mean, it's probably
There is Crash Team Racing Nitro Field is coming out June 4th, isn't it?
probably.
It looks like they're coming out with a either an expansion pack for it, but I actually haven't played the game yet.
Crash Team Racing? Yeah, Zach, I
CTR.
haven't even looked at it.
I mean, the Insane
I
trilogy
don't
came
know.
out last year, and it was good, right?
I
It was just
I typed in
remastered.
games. And
I
was
have
like,
a
no.
life, man. No.
You have a wife?
He has a wife.
Yes, I have a wife.
has a wife.
That's probably
Okay.
correct.
No,
Also, another. This might actually fall
That's
into
enough.
the topics of video games that people aren't looking forward to. The Elder Scrolls Online is also releasing another segment known as Elsewhere.
I am going to
There are
disagree with
people
you.
on both
Wow.
sides of the fence.
Ooh.
I'm going to disagree with you and say Elder
Like a-
Scrolls Online starts stupidly slow, but is still a great game.
You're right about
Looks
the
like Final
stupidly
Fantasy
slow.
14.
It's
Crash
it's
Team
a
Damn.
hard
Racing,
game to
I
get
like
into.
racing.
I mean, you're also probably what $50 behind in DLC at this point if you were to get that. So
Wow.
that kind of
Wow.
sucks.
Scrolls. I'm not playing it.
Well, I mean, the conversation is the Elder Scrolls Online is an MMO, a massive multiplayer online game.
Yeah.
That's what that
Which
stands for.
Does
Yes,
suffer?
AO.
Yes, it does. I mean, it does suffer from like the traditional issues that MMOs deal with.
Uh-huh.
The
Oh.
massive multiplayer experience. I mean, there's a lot of the problems that people had with it originally, from what I remember, is that it didn't capture the Skyrim experience that people were looking forward to.
Huh.
I just never looked
It's
forward
almost
to it.
like there's something
That's
coming
right.
out called Skyrim Together that we've all been really looking forward to that keeps getting
Hey.
stinking delayed.
What's
Yeah.
There's been a lot of controversy about that recently.
what is the ETA
That sounds
on that
cool.
now? Do you know?
It was in closed beta, and then it was supposed to go to open beta,
Ooh,
and it
open
never made
beta.
it to open beta. So
Yeah, I
device has
remember hearing or reading also about it. Apparently, the creators of it put out stuff, and it
Something about
did not
5
sit
days
well
ago,
with
there's
all the
been updates.
fans.
they may or may not have
Wow.
stolen code from another project.
Oh no, I'm talking about
Oh.
I doubt that.
They-
Oh wait, they did.
somebody had asked them or told them something, and the creator sent messages back that were kind of
No,
odd.
Mean.
Very unlimited.
that's most
means it
YouTube
could.
nowadays, right? I mean,
That
there's
is.
Wow.
enough controversies
Not
out there right now that we
Yeah.
just don't want to
There's,
get involved.
Another
Yeah.
video game that's coming out, one for the Switch, is Super Mario Maker 2.
I already pre-ordered it.
Does-
He's ahead of the game.
I've paid that game off. I'm gonna go pick it up when it comes out. I'm super excited to play it. It's the
Very
only
cool.
game I'm willing to go out and pre-order right now.
I have
What's
to
the
come over
premise?
to your
What's the
house.
premise of Super Mario Maker?
Mario Maker is basically they made a tool for the developers to use to make Mario games, and they decided, oh, this is actually a lot of
Yep.
fun, and it came out on the Wii U, and it was a great game, but nobody bought the Wii U because it sucked. So,
Yeah.
so they made
Yeah.
it again. Everybody thought it was gonna be a straight port, and they've added a whole bunch to it, and I'm really looking forward to playing that at some point here.
Sweet.
What's the projected? Do they think that's going to be quite the well accepted game then?
I believe everybody already there were people on YouTube saying that the first game got like 4 million views on like 2 million sales, and they're expecting those
Wow.
numbers to be
Wow.
doubled or tripled because the Switch did that much better.
The
So-
only thing I know, they had released it on the 3DS as well, but from what I've heard, they kind of ruined the online experience on the 3DS version.
Oh man.
So hopefully they don't ruin it on the Switch version.
I
that's
believe
coming.
it was basically non-existent, the online, wasn't it?
They didn't let you search for levels anymore or something. Like they made it so that
Yeah.
you basically were just
This-
stuck with randoms or something.
The new one fixed it. It's already been
That's
guaranteed.
ridiculous.
So
That's good because that was a
Okay.
problem.
Say one more
Yeah.
game that we're looking at. For those of us that have an appreciation for H.P. Lovecraft and all his creepy all his writings. There is another video game coming out called The Sinking City. Have you guys heard of that video game at all?
Ooh.
I have actually not.
It is going to be
Nope.
released
Not
on
looking forward to
PS4,
it.
Xbox One, and the PC. It seems like there's been like a lineup of H.P. Lovecraft inspired video games that have been coming out. There was one that came out a couple of months ago. Do you guys remember what the name of that one was?
No.
Of course.
You know what? I think that this is answered already. Nobody's really looking forward to this.
It's
it's a
mean,
very
There's one
it
game
sounds
called
like Dusty's
Splitgate
looking
Arena
forward to
Warfare.
it.
I
Really
do
cool.
enjoy I do enjoy
Portal guns.
certain horror video games. I just can't handle the ones that I can't handle
Soma,
movies
man.
that are horror movies.
We know who can't handle horror
I
games.
can't
We all
handle
know this.
Yeah, I
Dakota.
totally.
That video last time. Oh, that was funny. I love it.
I still have to
hate
go
the
back
game
and
so
finish
much.
Outlast, and I don't want to.
Oh,
I will
wow.
join
Okay,
you.
man.
We can be scared together.
It's one of
We'll
the
sit
game you
down
just sit there the
together.
whole time waiting for someone to pass. I hate that so much.
I mean, it's one of those things that's like I don't like scary games. I don't like playing scary
Did any of
games.
you watch the movie A Silent Place?
Nope.
I think I did.
I did.
That
mean A
was a
Quiet
good movie.
Place?
I enjoyed that.
It
I
was
bought
not scary, honestly.
A Quiet
but
Place. It wasn't scary,
good.
but it was really
Chris,
cool because the
Chris,
sounds they had in the
that's-
background are amazing.
Quiet place.
Okay.
Bunny trail, man.
also-
It's a
Quiet
bunny
Place,
trail.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
one we're gonna shoot way ahead. We're gonna pull
I
one
was-
video game out from the very edge of 2019. It looks like in December, our 4th episode of Life is Strange 2 is coming out.
Yes, I know. I'm extremely excited. Oh my word.
Caleb, get a
I still
life.
gotta play episode 2 for the
Okay.
second one yet, but I am extremely excited anyhow.
All right. Let me talk about this for a bit. So I played Life is Strange, the first one, and I thought it was good. I really loved the dilemma that they threw you in. Okay, some of it was like
Just a
shaky,
teenage
but
girl.
I loved the dilemma that they
That
threw
was
you
the
in at the end.
Yeah.
And then the second one came, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. And it was weird. So I didn't really, like, there was stuff in there that I didn't really like. It wasn't as good. And so I kind of faded out. I didn't actually finish it. It was cool because they made it a little bit more intense, in my opinion, like with the flames going everywhere, and all the towns burning down. But then, like, I just stopped, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not going any further, and I
Yeah.
deleted it from my computer. It didn't keep my interest,
Wow.
and
That
so
was the
I
first
think
one. Just to
The-
harsh video games reviews.
so.
yeah, man. Woof.
I'm not going for the third one, like,
Wait.
or fourth, whatever it is. The next episode, I just completely stopped. Because it lost the mystery which was the whole point of why the first one was so good, because somebody is missing. We don't know if they died or didn't, and then you find out, oh crap, spoilers. They died.
Oh crap! Spoilers.
Wow.
You're
Okay,
in-
wow,
That's a
Chris.
Wow.
spoiler.
A
You
game-
didn't need to
they-
say
A
it.
game we got. A
They're
game we gotta
dead.
play.
You go find their body, and you're like, and then somebody sticks a needle in you, and you're knocked out, and you wake up in a basement. And you're like, holy crap, I'm dead. And then that's
Life is
you
Strange
gotta
with
find a
Chris.
way out. It is
What,
amazing.
Chris?
It was a great game. So, but the
Caleb did
second
not
one-
actually get the true ending.
I got the true ending. I figured out how to get it properly and everything. I set it
Okay,
all up.
the game we
But-
need is
Okay,
Clickbait.
jump-
You need to watch that.
So
Uh,
the second one
Get
just
this-
lost
get
to me.
this.
This is
So I'm
what
going to do a
always-
topic.
just-
Topic
oh,
jump.
that's
We
Alright.
spent a little bit of time on Life is
gotta-
Strange.
Ah,
I gotta grab one more game for you. EA's
have
last
another game
chance
I'd like-
with the Star Wars license, the Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, is that the third? Their third attempt?
It's their third Star Wars game, but it's actually going to be a single player, like Knights of the Old Republic style
I see
game.
it.
I would have to say. It looks
Ooh.
like.
If they do a good job of this, it'd be cool.
Yeah, I
Didn't
mean,
isn't EA losing money hand over fist? Is that what I
Really?
no. Well,
Fist over hand.
I mean, between Anthem, what's the other game that failed terribly? The Mass Effect,
So-
Andromeda. Yeah, they're losing money hand over fist. They're basically working off their sports series right now. This is
but
probably
quite a few.
this is probably their last chance at getting a Star Wars game right before EA or the LucasArts takes the licensing back and says you're done.
Well, this is like
Could've
on the
taken
heels
long
of
ago.
quite a few large video game providers having
Mhm.
a lot of failed releases. Because isn't Bethesda not necessarily struggling right now, but they've
Bethesda.
also had a few releases that have not been accepted well.
Every
Bethesda?
Bethesda game is
Yeah, Bethesda.
buggy enough
Put
that
an
people won't
notification.
like it. I mean, Fallout 4 had a ton of bugs. Skyrim had a ton of bugs. It's just they built it
Yes,
up
they
in such a
did.
way that when the Fallout 76 came out, there were so many bugs and there was nothing to do in the game that it just sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which that seems to be something that larger companies have been following recently. Just kind of
Yeah, so 76 was a crap game.
I still think Anthem probably failed harder than Fallout 76 did in the long run.
Yeah, 'cause, like everyone communicates these days about whether a game's good or not, and then somebody goes on a trial, checks it out, and is like, "That's crap." So you got to make a good game, otherwise nobody's gonna buy it because everyone listens to podcasts before
Yeah,
they buy
Like
the
this.
Exactly.
I'm sure we're
So,
giving up best game knowledge.
quick,
Totally.
quick,
Chris just
quick
shot down
topic.
Life is Strange too.
Quick topic jump. We're gonna jump. What video games would you guys like to see sequels to? Ones that, I mean, and it could be video games from like the 1980s all the way up to present day. What do you guys?
That's
what
a
have you
hard
guys
one.
hoped to
I
see a
mean,
sequel to?
Can I add a game that I'm excited for that's supposed to release sometime?
What is he?
Sure. What game are we looking at?
So there's actually a VR game that's supposed to be coming out, and I think it's this year, or if not early next year, called Nostos, Nostos, and it's supposed to be like, they're not claiming it to be an MMO, but it looks like it's going to be one of the first big VR MMO games, and it's being built from the premise of VR rather than being built outside of it and VR just being adapted onto it. The whole game's being built from the ground up to be VR.
Say VR is still projected to be. I mean, it hasn't grown quite as fast as people have expected it to, but
It's just too expensive.
people think it is the future of video gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mobile VR is going to be what takes off, and they just improve the hardware for mobile VR.
Mhm.
See, but
Like
I
the
like
Galaxy.
having it to my
Was it the Quest? Is the newest one?
the Oculus Quest. Yep.
Yeah.
The Oculus Quest just recently came out, and so did the Oculus Rift S.
The Quest is still what, $300, $400?
The Quest is, I think, 400, and I think the S is also 400.
That's
I think they're both
stupid.
the same.
That's stupidly
Well-
expensive still.
It's $399 for a full VR system plus, and you don't need to worry about any kind of lighthouses or
Well, it's a
external
standalone
sensors.
system though too. It's not just it's not you connect it to your computer for the Quest. It's like an Android device strapped to your face.
Sort of.
Sweet.
From the sounds of it, it actually
Sword Art Online. I don't want this.
it's apparently pretty decent from what I've
It's
heard.
related.
It's happening.
Never gonna wear
Not
one of
as
those.
Real.
bad as like the Android VR stuff is.
Yeah.
Like it's actually apparently pretty good. You can play a lot of the VR low settings or just like Beat Saber and all the other ones that are not quite as demanding on it.
Huh.
So to pull us back on topic, video games that we're looking for sequels for. I'll shoot out the first one that I'm personally would love to happen, but I know it's never going to happen. I want a Free Space 3.
Yeah.
I felt like so for those who've never played the Descent Free Space series, Free Space is a space simulator game. You're in a space small ship fighter, and you lead wings, and you're trying to stop alien invasion and destruction of Earth, really. And the second Free Space left off on a cliffhanger, and you think you're dead. And the third one, it could have really improved on the second one, but yeah, there was.
Free Space, man. That was a good
It's
game.
it's like the TV show that ends on a cliffhanger and then gets canceled the next season.
The Finder.
Ah,
Oof.
So
That was rough.
I know a
man.
lot of
You got
people
arrested.
wanted a Wolfenstein sequel, and they ended up getting that, and then the remakes
Mhm.
of the Doom
Yep.
games. But what are some games that you guys would love to see a second or third one for?
Half-Life
Or-
3.
Half-Life 3.
There you go.
The game
Think
that
about
never
this
will
for a
come.
while.
Half-Life 3.
Mhm.
I mean,
Oh,
that's been
there's-
everywhere. That's not even the person, the storytelling or the whoever made the story basically launched the entire story out onto the internet because he knew it wasn't going to be made, which kind of
oh
sucks.
wow.
So I haven't
Yeah.
played Half-Life. What is Half-Life?
I haven't played it either. I just know it's a game that
What?
everybody
Why'd you
seems
I
find
to
know
third?
it's very related to Portal. At that
Oh,
same time when
wait,
Portal
Portal?
came out and the
It's
whole
Basically,
relationship.
they go out and try to make sure the world doesn't get taken over, right? The premise of most video games back then.
I believe
That's
that's
very
what
true.
it is. I haven't played it myself. So
I had to say,
can't
I
Sounds like
haven't-
a beautiful game.
I personally haven't gotten into it because I know I don't like the style of gameplay.
What is
That's-
it?
It's a very much first person puzzle
Yeah, it's all first person.
shooter. I don't know. It
It's-
just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Wait, so is
It's
is that the video game that we should highlight this week and go out and play?
Chris and I talked
I
about a
am
game
not
we should
spending any more
play,
money.
and we need to go and play Gary's mod and play like
Oh.
Trouble
I
in
do
Terrorist
have
Town or
Gary's
something
mod.
like that.
Prop hunt, man.
Oh,
Prop hunt, yeah, all those things come in like a single game for like $10. So at some
is.
point, that is a game we need to go through and play.
It's not nearly as perfected as the apps being separate, but it's still really good.
Yep,
oh,
a game
hunt's
I'm looking
hilarious.
forward to as soon as EA loses the licensing because I don't want EA making it. I want to see a Star Wars Republic Commando 2. The first game was like a Star Wars Halo game, and it was stupidly good, and it ended on a cliffhanger, and the only way to get the rest of the story is to read the books, and I don't want to read the books.
wow.
I don't blame
I
you.
want to
Yeah,
play
we
the
play
game.
video games. We don't read books.
Come on. I mean,
I read books.
I paid. I mean, I got the game later because I
read good
tried to
murder
find it for
mysteries.
months and
Not Star
years.
Wars.
But it was
Alright,
just one of those
so-
things. All right.
So there is a game. It is that I would like to see a sequel to, but I highly doubt it ever would happen due to the way the
Portal
game
3.
ended. That would be nice, but that's not the game I'm talking about. It's
Okay.
an odd game that many people may not know of. It's called Quantum Conundrum.
Of course.
I don't know if you guys know of it, but I played that game. It's basically full of puzzles, anything and everything. Basically, you are a kid stuck in a mansion where your uncle is a major scientist and got himself locked inside a time portal kind of thing, and you actually rescued him and whatnot. I want to see a sequel to that because I want to see the uncle and the kid working together to do something after that. That'd be really nice. But
I just typed in Quantum Conundrum and it showed up.
Oh.
So
Quantum Conundrum was a fun game. It was
Misspelled
quirky. It was
conundrum.
weird. It dealt with. You could actually basically you had a gauntlet that you could control time. It was really cool, but I don't know if anybody really knows that game. 'cause
That
it's-
sounds like a game out of the
there.
era of Putt Putt, Fatty the Bear, Pajama
It
Sam.
may be.
It's
but it
got to
was
be like the
totally
same
Pajama
era.
Sam.
The game was just totally worth it. It was enjoyable.
Actually, it looks
All,
like it was
all
around that
hardcore
year.
gamers
Oh,
should be
now
playing
that you
Pajama
bring it
Sam.
up, I really want to play Pajama Sam. I feel like there,
What is
there should
Pajama
be
Sam?
some
Chris?
more of that.
I'm gonna look that
I
up.
can make Pajama Sam happen. We gotta sit
You
down and play
can.
this game. I own all of the humongous games now.
I typed in Pajama Sam and it's showing me pajamas.
Oh,
Pajama
I have
Sam,
never
come on,
played
he's a
it, but I have
classic.
seen
There's
it.
the pajamas for you, named Sam.
Sam, I am.
I don't
Was
feel like
it
paying $50
Also,
for pajamas.
Fancy Pants, the little stickman game.
I remember Fancy Pants.
Oh, that was such a cool
Didn't they
game.
make two of those?
Pants.
They
Yeah, I
did
think
make
they
two.
did.
Oh, I see. Yes,
Yeah, they
Spy
did.
Fox, Putt Putt, Backyard Sports.
I
Yep.
see what it is now. Okay,
All
I
that stuff
gotcha.
was made by
Oh,
Humongous.
Spy Fox.
Nice.
All those classic games. It's
Right.
amazing.
That's
That
saying
company
typing
probably
Power
died.
Blast Gold, man.
Yeah.
That's another
That's
company
true.
that's probably it's on the track of companies dying. Activision. The
Oh
people
yeah.
that partnered up with
Sure.
Bungie to make Destiny 2.
That was 2000.
Slowly
yeah,
dying,
I-
and we might not be seeing a yearly Call of Duty, which I'm okay with.
That's crazy.
Say,
Yeah,
the
no
way
more.
things
Say
seem
goodbye
to
to
go
those.
is they will probably get absorbed by another company. I have, from the video games, I've been playing video games through the 90s and video games from the 80s, and quite a
Okay.
few of the people, or quite a few of the companies that made those video games just got absorbed. Like, I played
Disney.
the Descent games were made by a company called Interplay, and Interplay got purchased by Bethesda. I'm trying to pronounce
Was
it right.
Bethesda?
Bethesda, yeah, that's it. I think Bethesda
Bethesda.
purchased Interplay, and then I played video games before I knew how to pronounce that. I played those games. I was
We
like,
all
oh,
did.
this looks like how you pronounce it.
I mean, Bethesda bought up a couple different companies, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past them. It's the same with the Epic Game Store right now. They bought up Rocket League.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they fail and get out of the whole scene.
Giant corporate video game takeovers.
I mean,
Well, like,
But
it's the same issue as like with Netflix and all that stuff. Is when you start getting exclusives, you can't really like stick to one platform anymore because otherwise you're missing out on games stuck on another platform.
Borderlands 3 is a year-long exclusive for the Epic Game Store. So on PC, even if you pre-ordered it on Steam, you then have to play it through Epic, which people were very angry about.
Oh yeah, because it was promised to be released in Steam.
Yep. It's one of those things where companies, they're shooting themselves in the foot in the long run, but they're doing whatever they
Yeah.
can to save money, which is okay with me as long as I still get a game in the end.
right.
You're gonna get a game. It's gonna be the worst animation you've ever seen.
We promise you a game, but it may not look great.
Promise it, but we don't
That's
have to say
probably
it
what
was.
just happened with Mass Effect Andromeda. They're like, we're gonna make this awesome game, and then everybody got it and went, "What is this? Did you guys forget to make the game?
Graphics are terrible.
You guys forgot to make the game. I'm sorry."
Forgot to complete the graphics, you know.
Graphics are always an
And
important
Heart
part.
Attack,
You're not-
They are very nifty.
Yeah.
Cartoon Creature was no more.
Oh boy. I mean, there are lots of games out there that deserve sequels that will never get them. I personally have loved the Disney
Yeah.
Infinity games, and we've gotten 3 of them, and they shut down basically the entire Disney Entertainment division. I think the only thing they deal with is Kingdom Hearts right now. So it's
Yeah.
just one of those things.
I'd
where
like to
it
check
kinda
that
sucks.
game out at some point. But
What
I
game
don't
was
have the
that?
time.
Just a second ago.
Was it Kingdom Hearts 3 came out on everything, I think? Did it come out on PC?
Pretty much. I believe so.
But then they also released the entire story so far, but it only came out on PlayStation, which I thought was kind of dumb.
So I played Kingdom Hearts on the Xbox 360. I think it was the first one.
Chris mentioned a game he was looking forward to, and I don't know how you can be excited for that game. Final Fantasy being remastered.
Oh, 7? Yeah. I
You
heard
mean
it was
Final Fantasy
fantastic, so I
300?
never played it.
Wait, how is
And I was
that?
waiting for the remake to come out. There's never
Fight,
coming
fight,
out.
fight.
I haven't played any Final Fantasy.
It's gonna be.
Fight.
The thing is
Only
they're not
$50.
guaranteeing you a game. They're guaranteeing you a chapter of a game, which kind of really
It's
sucks.
gonna be crap.
Game,
I'm not gonna
no,
play
there's more
it.
to it, but it says it rolls the
Obviously,
credits.
it's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a chapter a piece. It's not gonna
Wait,
be
they're just doing
like
it in
a-
chapters?
They're doing it in chapters. So basically, you
Just
pay what
trash.
$30 probably to get chapter 1, which
Ooh.
who knows how long that's gonna be.
Ow.
Then you got pay 40 for chapter
Ow,
2.
And then
that's-
you gotta continue to pay for the
Ow.
rest of the game.
hashtag
I
no
hate
more
all of-
open
It's like the
world.
Final
Telltale,
Fantasy VII?
like
Yeah.
the Telltale series.
Yeah. So all
Yeah,
of that
about-
remastered is being released episodically. So it might be an open world game still, but it'll start out with you pay probably the most for chapter 1 and then pay lesser amounts for the extra chapters. At least that's how
Yeah,
I would
they
do
won't
it.
do that.
That
They're
doesn't
gonna
mean that
squeeze
they're
as
gonna do
money
it.
out of you as they can.
Yeah, they are. DLC,
I
they're
don't
gonna
like
give
that
you
at
the bare
all.
bones. DLC's gonna have every other weapon.
That's like if
I
you
ain't
go to
gonna pay
play
for it.
Borderlands, the whatever the Telltale or the what the well,
Telltale
wow
series.
yeah
Blah, 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 blah.
Telltale series.
That's it.
Words are terrible. And decide
Yeah.
if you're gonna get
Today.
chapter 1 when you know you can buy the entire thing for $20, and then go somewhere and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy the episode 1 only, and then learn it's like $15 just for chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably
goes.
why
That's
Telltale
how
died.
it goes.
Yeah, that's
Oh, they did
milking
die?
your supporters.
I believe
much,
they've
yeah.
guaranteed one game. Somebody else came in and is going to be developing it, but other than that, Telltale is a dead company.
Yeah,
So
I have no idea why you have to buy everything individually.
well, you could buy the
Everything.
season pass stuff, but when every game out there includes a season pass, why would you buy
Because
the
the
season
animation
pass?
of the games isn't that good.
It's just like
Yeah,
I bought the season pass for Destiny, and then a year later, everybody else joins me playing it, and they had to pay like half as much for everything.
Yeah.
That is
Kind
the
of screws
worst.
you over for being the first people
Feel
on
like you
board.
got gypped.
It's better than paying. Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's why I wait for most games. Even movies, I'll wait.
Ooh, I don't.
Mhm.
I should though.
It's
I mean,
like pre-ordering
I
a.
got a collection, man.
It's not the same
gotten
as pre-ordering a game. I would suggest everybody out there never pre-orders a game again. It's gonna
I
kill
used to pre-order
GameStop,
movies.
which I'm okay
I've
with.
never pre-ordered a game.
GameStop has been on its
Yes,
way down for a little
disc,
while anyways.
Disc Traders on 28th Street.
Disc traders and play and trade, like competitors to GameStop, are stupidly expensive compared to them, though. I don't know what happened with pricing.
Sheesh.
Everything's $10 to
I was-
$15 more at those stores.
What?
I mean, GameStop is
I
already
don't buy
expensive
games, I
as
buy
is.
movies.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm stuck. I mean, I'm good.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in. So
Oh, there's
we're
Dusty
gonna
doing
jump into
a
our
while.
next topic real quick. And
Hi,
chat-
Dusty.
Hi, I'm here. Surprise.
Welcome back.
Let's say hello
Sorry.
again. Hello,
Did-
Dusty.
Hello again.
Hello again.
I don't know.
Continue.
Sometimes I cut out.
Just continue.
Keep
Okay.
cutting out.
Anyways.
Say it again. Hello.
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 So we talked about video games that we wanted sequels to, and then we jumped into like our
There's
yeah,
tangent.
opinions on
There's
lots of
definitely tangent.
video game companies that are going away. Gadgets that we're looking forward to within 2019.
Like, what
Is there
kind
anything
of
that you guys
gadgets?
like technology?
Go
Anything
look up-
from like LG's coming out with a new TV that just kind of disappears. It's not being used.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've seen. I know what you're talking
Like
about.
the
one that
picture
roll-
screen ones, the TVs nowadays are fantastic, and I just can't wait
Yeah,
for
they
them to
are.
slowly roll out.
They're just extremely expensive.
No
thing
pun
is,
intended, right?
HD's going down in price because of 4K.
Yeah.
Oh man, the
Get HD.
rolling TVs that I've seen, Dusty. Now that you mention that,
Mhm.
they look fantastic, but
What is it? Rolling TV?
they
It
they
rolls
actually
out like
they
it's-
roll
We're
out.
looking
You're
up.
poor.
It's a
It's like
flexible
a
screen,
scroll.
right?
It's basically like a scroll. It
What?
pulls out and the entire thing's there. It's
It's
amazing.
only
Yeah, just like this.
$2,000.
It'll be just as good as the Samsung Fold.
It's like
Yeah,
Treasure
it's
Planet.
just like
we
the
can have
Samsung
Treasure
Fold
Well,
did
Planet
it
Samsung
later
did make
than
it for $1,997.
That being
Believe it or
said-
not, now that you mention that,
Let's all put
Now
money
that you
together and
mention
buy
that,
one.
the screens that the old tech, for those of you who remember the movie Treasure Planet and the fact that they had like a little window that they
Yes.
could change, it seems that Samsung is coming out with these little micro LED like picture walls that can change.
Sweet.
Oh yes, I
I
saw
have heard
those
about those.
on the
Oh,
CES one. Basically, they're just those what 2x2 squares, or
Uh-huh.
they're
Yeah.
bigger than that, and they just basically
do have-
sync together.
They do
that's
have other
pretty
sizes.
cool.
Oh, those would be amazing
Extremely
to
expensive,
have.
but so cool.
I mean,
Say we are one step closer to actually having
wall.
windows that we can change. We can change the
It'd be
the
just like
screen if
movies.
it's raining outside.
I mean, technology is advancing so quickly, but as Samsung learned, if you jump in a little too quick because another company came out with a device you want to beat, your
gonna
device
be a
ends
problem.
up getting recalled, and
Too much.
the Samsung
It
Fold
is
now has
exploding in
no
everyone.
release date.
It's like
Nah.
DC
It
trying
That was
to
that was the
Fire.
S7, if I remember correctly, Chris.
Yeah.
As
Agreed.
Samsung has shown, and the companies that innovate, they are the ones that make it into the news for multiple reasons.
Oh yes.
That
Whether
being
it be
said,
failed products or awesome
The
new
folding
products.
phones are so funny though. I mean, they just fold it once and.
I don't want to get into the political side of this, but I was actually looking
No.
forward to the Huawei Mate X, which is Huawei's folding phone. They did it a different way, where they
Oh.
didn't have the tiny screen on the outside. The entire
Yeah.
outside of the phone was the screen, so you'd fold it out
Yeah,
in the
it's pretty
tablet that
crazy.
way. So that
Mhm.
phone looked amazing, but with the ban, who knows how long that's
Yeah.
going to stay in place? It's not a
Yeah.
phone worth getting right now because you can't get it.
Mhm.
There was another folding phone out there. It was the first on the market. It looked like basically you folded up your wallet and stuck it in your pocket. It was not great. As a proof of concept, though, it didn't have a screen protector like thing on the outside that
Uh-huh.
all the previewers decided to peel off because they thought it was a screen protector.
Oh.
Oh no.
So the fold had like a screen protector looking thing on it, and people would start ripping it off, and basically it destroyed the
no.
screen when they did that.
Yeah.
Which
They-
is why we're not getting that phone anytime soon.
That's a fail.
On another
Uh-huh.
bright note about phones, the Razor's coming back around.
Man,
This is true.
They are making a smartphone version of the Razor. So it folds
Oh,
up
yeah.
just like the old Razor phones did, but it
oh
folds
yeah,
open into a screen.
I
Which
saw
is pretty
those,
crazy in
and
itself.
that actually seems a phone I'm interested in. I mean, I'm locked
Yep,
in with
I
the
am
S9
too.
right now, but that looks like an awesome phone.
Other than the price tag, I really liked it.
I mean, it's just
Hmm.
basically a flip phone that opens up into a regular phone.
I know. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't
But it-
seen a physical preview of it yet, though. It's all been
Raise the
concept,
dead for how
hasn't
much
it?
it costs.
There's been more concepts and kind of physical.
It hasn't been
previews
concept. I
of
thought
it,
they
just
could
not
release
full.
a actual official, but I might be wrong.
I think we've only seen concepts so far, but that looks like an awesome phone, and
like- oh,
might
it's-
drive me away from Samsung just to try it, and then subsequently ruin it because it's a folding screen and we don't know how good they are yet.
Yeah, they're still working on perfecting them, but it's one of those things I
Get
think is
the
going to
coverage.
be cool
Well,
one. It's
Well, while you're waiting,
the
you could easily
price.
go and get a Moto, and those
I
things
like-
are straight up
Moto.
extreme good.
But then again, I don't want to pay much for a phone, so that's perfect.
You'd be paying
I mean-
less for the Moto than you would be paying.
Oh
for
no,
the
by far
Razor.
no. I paid $250 for the one I have. Power pack really
Oh.
does last 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh
Oh man.
wow.
So outside of that, technology-wise, I mean, we all are looking into the future into VR, but I think we
Yes.
all agree that there's not anything out there that's accessible
Not
to
extreme.
the usual gamer. I mean,
yeah.
for the
like,
extreme gamers, like you can get lucky and find a deal. I found my Acer VR headset for relatively cheap, like $200. But even those prices have skyrocketed. So
yeah, that's actually gotten quite a bit more expensive. I tried to find one of them.
even
Yeah,
with the Quest should be something that's like $300, $200, something in there. But it's not.
I mean, price wise, to enter into like the VR market, for those of us who aren't earning a
Financially viable.
lot of money, it just doesn't make sense for like for us, like a
I'm
PC.
still stuck on
Even a
Xbox.
PC is on like the far end of the market for people to actually find a PC that can handle these games if you don't build them yourself. That's why consoles
Exactly.
are still
That's why
consoles are still a thing, and that's why mobile gaming is exploding, because people will have their phones. So if they can combine VR into the phones and make it to where they're just incredible for the price point, that is probably where they're going to find the most amount of people who play those games.
There are
Yeah.
games bridging that gap already, though. Rec Room,
Yes, there
I just
are.
got an email from them. Rec Room is a game that's on PC, VR, and then they also have a standalone non-VR version. They are bringing the game Rec Room cross-platform to iPad and iPhones. And then they're also looking to do Google Cardboard here in the near future, which Google Cardboard's that phone jump that I think we're all
Oh,
looking to become
yeah.
the future.
Yes, that would be really cool.
So,
Hmm.
different
Later.
topic, because I am still wandering around this game. I just found something I've never seen before.
Ooh, what'd you find?
Like, this is beautiful music.
is it a floating tree?
Oh,
Made the floating tree.
No,
For those
I-
listening to the audio portion of this, or if I decide to accidentally chop out the video, Johnny is in Calamity in Terraria. If you want to see our Let's Plays in that, they are right now. The full stream is live, and then we'll have edited versions out here in the near future. There's a lot of stuff we haven't seen yet that, I mean, Johnny's seen, but Johnny, you seeing something that you've never seen in this game. That's pretty big, isn't it?
that's pretty big.
It must be a new update. This is beautiful. I had noticed some new items, but this is gorgeous.
I actually made that.
I wish I could see it. Wait, I can. Ooh, I'm gonna do this.
So speaking of
Ooh.
speaking of video games and our Let's Plays, maybe we should take this time and decide, like, all right, what is one video game that we haven't played that we as a group can do for our next Let's Play? And then we could eventually take to the YouTube and to the Twitter and see those who actually watch our videos. They can vote on some video games that we can play, potential Let's Plays that we haven't covered yet.
That's single.
Duck
I mean,
game.
I mean, even
The duck
Okay.
game.
the duck game is a game we have to try. I believe most of us own that game at this point.
I don't
Duck
own it, but I
game?
can
And
buy
like
it.
just
do
like
not
we
own
did
that.
earlier in this game or this podcast, Gary's mod. There's so much we could do in that we just haven't explored yet. That would be a lot of fun with our group.
Yeah.
True that.
Other
I think
games.
I would shoot for the duck game for sure this next week if
Duck
anyone
game
else
sounds
is up for that.
This
I
is
mean,
cool.
That'd be a lot of fun. It would be fun to get back into Tricky Towers. That's a game that we all suck
We
at.
we should. Well,
That's when I actually stood a chance
yeah,
against
but
you guys.
it'd be nice to play.
It'd be fun to get
Ooh.
back into that game.
Yes.
This is where we
need to.
this is
We
where we
really
have a
need to.
throwback and we connect with Josh and play Gang Beasts again.
Is Josh
Gang
even
Beasts.
in the state somewhere? I mean, isn't he? He's down doing training, isn't he? Unless he's deployed.
He is still on Steam though.
That's crazy.
Gang Beasts, however, is a local game only right now, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I mean, it allows
Just
up
like
to 8
Crawl?
players, so at some point we need to go and do that. It's more
Well,
like
for those of
Towerfall.
you who are listening to the podcast, you can go over and check out our
Oh, that's
Dakota's
Gang
video
Beasts.
on local gaming.
Hashtag
through-
advertising oneself.
Parsec.
through,
Parsec is
Don't forget to
Parsec.
relax.
Parsec is probably the best virtual PC software out there. I mean, not virtual PC as in like, look it, we're emulating a PC. It's actually connecting to your PC, and we've actually messed around with it a couple times here. Overcooked
Never
with 4 people worked alright.
successfully.
So
Games like
we could try
Injustice and
Gang
other
Beasts.
stuff. It would suck.
Ooh.
We could try Gang. I mean, those are the types of games that are better if we're all sitting in the same room. And
True,
Gang Beasts
true.
is difficult to play, period. So playing with a little bit of lag would just be infuriating.
Oh yeah. It's
Oh,
I
that
mean,
drive
I'd
me
win
bonkers.
every time probably.
In- Instead, we would just have to record ourselves so that we could post some rage out videos.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh no, I'm mad. There,
I
that's
mean-
that's my rage out.
other games that we need to try at some point. Battlefront, the original Star Wars Battlefront. It'd be awesome to go back and play that. I actually purchased that on GOG, which GOG has DRM free. So at some point, local party, LAN party, go back to the past of gaming and play Battlefront.
I do love
That'd be
me
cool.
some Battlefront, so that would be a good one.
Man, what other games are out there that I mean, it'd be fun to do a competition in like a VR game too. Just grab it and then throw everybody in a VR game and say, "Here we go. We're gonna experience this."
So I would
It
get
would be
sick
pretty
so
cool.
fast.
The
It would
games
be
like
worth it, but
hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We could say first person to figure out this.
is that an actual video game?
Hot dogs,
Please,
horseshoes,
let
and
it
hand
be.
grenades is a gun simulator, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff mixed in with it. It's
I will play
actually
that.
a neat
Wow.
I will
game.
play that.
It
Too
took
bad
me
that
about
name's
20
taken,
minutes. It took me
Because
20
we'd be
minutes
changing
to
our
shoot a gun.
podcast name.
It took 20 minutes to shoot a gun or figure out how to shoot guns. And the controls weren't really mapped out for the Windows Mixed Reality, but I figured it out. So I just kind of laugh watching you guys try to shoot a gun.
This would be so much fun. I want
I
to do
mean,
this.
This would be great. I'm gonna stand next to
That might
Caleb.
be something
I'll
that
play
we
that.
have to do when Caleb comes back. Because Caleb
Yes.
Yeah.
hates us and decided to leave the state.
We'll actually
Whoa, whoa,
we'll
whoa,
actually
whoa.
video it.
He despises
I
you.
went to go to school.
Well, before we get too off topic, we probably should close this podcast out.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I'd say like, subscribe, rate us on whatever podcast places we actually put this up on, and comment on what video games you would like to see us do Let's Plays and what topics you would love for us to destroy. So, and
Yeah, completely destroy. I mean, annihilate if you want us to. I mean,
I said
anything.
great.
Just nothing political. Nothing political.
Well,
yeah,
that just
we
opens
avoid
the door.
No politics.
and everyone's like, now we want to know what your guys' views are.
What's
Nope.
your point
So-
on Trump?
Now that you've opened up the topic,
No.